But actually, we have a really cool special guest for you this morning, who is coming all the way from our Singapore cohort 2 to talk about his story. And we're also doing something a bit more special today. We are testing a live stream on YouTube, so we're going to share with you guys the link. So I wanted to give it up for Bahadir from Airalo in Singapore.
Hey everyone, the voice is clear, right? This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so I'm not very cool. Like this is too much for me. Okay, my name is Bahadir, and I'm from the second Singapore cohort. We passed the investment committee a couple of weeks ago, and we raised our first pre-seed investment from Antler, Singapore. So I know what you guys are going through right now. I went through the same thing, and I liked every minute of it. But I'm not just saying this. This was an amazing experience for me. So I hope you guys are also enjoying that. Well, once we passed the investment committee, we started on working our project, and it's called Airalo. So I wear this T-shirt. I have 30 of those printed. So I wear the same T-shirt, not same T-shirt, but this every single day. So I try to do my PR in MRT stations, in buses, in taxis, everywhere I go. So basically, just a little bit background on what we are doing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the eSIM technology. This is something that started 8 months ago. So basically, iPhone just shipped the first eSIM compatible devices, which are iPhone XS, XS Max, and iPhone XR. And Google Pixel shipped their Google Pixel 3 and Google Pixel 3 XL. So since the last 8 months, we have devices in the market which are eSIM compatible. And what this means is all the next generation smartphones are going to now come with the SIM card embedded inside. So, and this means we are not going to go to a store anymore and buy a physical SIM card from KPN or from Singtel or any other company. Whenever you need a SIM card, you will go to Airalo with your eSIM compatible phone, and you will install the operator's profile on your phone. So we are trying to create the Spotify for travelers connectivity. So imagine next time you are going to Singapore, you can either activate an expensive roaming plan, or you can land in Singapore and try to find a local SIM card. But the better way now is you can just, while sitting here, go to Airalo, install the Singapore operator's profile on your phone, the local profile, the local packages. So when you land in Singapore, you start connecting like a local. So this is what we are doing. We are creating the world's first eSIM store. Because the companies are now getting eSIM ready, like Vodafone, KPN, Telenor Group, everybody is eSIM ready, but from a traveler's perspective, it's a mess out there. If I'm a traveler, I have no idea how to access those eSIMs. So what we are doing is we are aggregating all the eSIMs in one universal store. So we are almost finished with the product. We are hoping to launch this week, if all goes well. And we have collected 88 local eSIMs. So this means we cover 88 countries locally and 160 countries globally. So you'll be basically able to go to Airalo and install a local SIM card or a global SIM card to make sure you are connected all around. So this is what we are doing, and we raised the pre-seed investment from Antler, as I mentioned. We also, once you raise some investment from Antler, all the doors open to you, and in 2 minutes, we sat down with an angel, and in 2 minutes, we raised an angel investment. And I promise you, it wasn't more than 2 minutes. He just knew that we raised from Antler, and he said, if these guys just take my money, so he just made another investment. He just made another investment, and now we have enough pre-seed till we do the demo day and raise our seed investment and the growth fund. So this is basically about Airalo, and today I'm not going to make this a session where I will act like I'm an entrepreneur who knows everything and will guide you and teach you, because I'm not that guy. I don't know any better than you guys do. The only thing that I can say is I'm a couple of months ahead of you, and this is just because I applied the previous cohort. So nothing special. I just acted a little bit faster than you guys, so I'm here. So what I want to tell you about today is more about Antler, because I think that's the most common thing we have right now. So I thought I'll make it like 3 subjects. First one, why I applied Antler, and second one, what to expect from Antler and how you guys can utilize the program. And third one will be a little bit emotional, but why I love Antler so much. It's an affair between me and Antler, and I will try to give you the reasons why. So why I applied Antler is because I'm an entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years, and I failed 4 companies. I succeeded 2 companies, so total 6 attempts, and 2 of them did well. And while saying did well, I mean they were good lifestyle businesses, which made over a couple of million annually. For my family, it was good. My wife seems to be happy with her weekly spa sessions, so everything is well as a one-man company and as a family company. But that's it. That's as much as you can go when you are a lone entrepreneur. That's as much as you can go when you are trying to do things by yourself. And what I realized is, if I want to go big, if I want to build something more than a lifestyle business, I know using the term "the next big thing" is a cliche, and I hate cliches. I feel like everybody is using those, but I'm going to use it anyway. So if you want to do the next big thing, the next Uber, the next Netflix, I truly believe that you have to be with people who are smarter than you, who are more connected than you, and who have more experience than you. This is what I was lacking as a lone entrepreneur. I could keep building lifestyle businesses and just be okay for the rest of my life, or I could try to be global and create a global impact, create something that millions of people use at the same time. And this is when I felt like, okay, I have to be part of something bigger than me, because just me being an entrepreneur is never going to be enough. So this is when I decided to take the step to become part of Antler, and I truly enjoyed every single moment of it. So, and I'm sure you guys want to do the same thing. You want to build something global, you want to build something big, because you all have backgrounds, from corporate companies, or some of you are already serial entrepreneurs who build other businesses. But I think the common thing here is we want to create something big and more impactful, and we know that it's not going to be easy if we are just by ourselves. So that's why we are, right? So this is why I applied Antler. I wanted to become part of something big, and become with people who are smarter than me. I'm a college dropout, so I never finished school. I'm still a first-year student in Middle East Technical University. It's been 15 years, and I'm still taking the same courses from year 1. It looks like it's never going to finish. So I love being around people who are simply way smarter than me, people with PhDs, people who know tech, people who know robotics. It's a learning process for me every single day, and I'm trying to be cool and not show them that I'm very ignorant about what they are telling, but I'm trying my best to utilize the knowledge that I see from people around Antler. So yeah, and what to expect from Antler is, well, I think the first thing that I need to say is, if you are here for the money, leave now. That will be my first advice, because the 60K, the money that you are going to get from Antler should definitely not be the reason to be here. This is the money that you can find anywhere else, from family, friends, from the banks. So it's definitely not about the money. Forget the money. I wouldn't apply Antler if it was just about the money. So what happens here is, it's an amazing, I cannot emphasize on this enough. It's an amazing connected network that I have never seen anywhere else. I was going to come here, and I tried to get a meeting from booking.com for months. I couldn't even find the right person. And then Yuri, I don't know if Yuri is here, I just told Yuri that I need some help, and then he connected me to booking.com the next day. This is how fast things happen here at Antler. There's a telecom company called Singtel in Singapore. I don't know if you are familiar. For another business, I tried to talk to those guys for the last 2 years. No appointment, nobody, I couldn't find the right guy, because it's so big, 10,000 people working there, right? And I tell Antler that I need someone from Singtel, can you guys help me? And then they connect me to the right guy next day. So this network, I really cannot emphasize enough, but this network that Antler will provide you is simply amazing. How to utilize this? My first advice might be a little bit cheesy, but I believe humility is a very universal currency, and I believe kindness is a very universal language. So use them because Antler is also a startup. So they have flaws alongside their perfections. So because I witnessed this in my cohort, if you stay and if you act like, and please excuse my language, if you act like a self-entitled prick who thinks that Antler owes you a lot of things, who thinks that people owe you a lot of things, then again you are in the wrong place. But if you are always in a mood, there is always learning, there is always observing, there is always staying humble, and there is always appreciating this environment, then you can utilize what's going on here. Otherwise, seriously, I've seen people who were like, maybe I don't need to be here, and it was a mistake. Now, the guys that I witnessed are doing nothing with their businesses. But that's just a that's just a mistake that we are prone to do on our side. When things start going a little bit well, we start thinking that maybe I don't need these people. Maybe I don't need to be here. Maybe I can do this by myself. I witnessed this, so that's why I'm just giving you this advice. So again, use Antler for everything that you need. You will be amazed. He's not here, but the legend himself, Andreas Berning. I don't know if you guys met him. Everybody has a man crush on the guy. He's simply amazing, and you have to find Andreas for everything that you need. Seriously, I love the guy. Everybody loves the guy. And I remember we were sitting on a table, and I told him that I need to connect to telecom companies. And he's so far away from bullshit. He simply opened his LinkedIn and started connecting me to people right there on the table, making introductions. It wasn't like, all right, I'll make it soon and forget about it. He just opens his laptop and, is this the guy you need? Yes. Okay, connected. Is this the guy you need? Okay, connected. So this is how things work here. So make sure you ask for their help. Make sure you ask for Antler's help. You will be amazed how many people they know from all around the world, and it's just priceless. I can say that. And yeah, I mean, again, just the same advice. If you are always in a mood that you are learning, even if you know everything, just reset yourself. Act like you don't know anything, so that you can actually be open to everything that will come from Antler. All the education, all the entrepreneurship education, marketing, everything that they will show you here, just be open and observe as much as you can. Then I believe you will. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say. By the way, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me, because I'm improvising right now. I don't have something fixed. Yeah. Just finishing a little bit, but please go if you want.
Yeah, so it was really inspirational. Thank you so much. I have a question regarding your idea transformation.
Should I give her the mic?
Yeah. So I have a question regarding your idea transformation. Can you tell me with what idea you came, how it was transformed, or maybe not transformed at all?
Okay.
What doubts do you have during this process of experimentation, transformation, and coming into like the end of this 2 months?
Okay. So I was one of the lucky ones, so I don't think that I will give you the best answer. I wanted to do this project for a very long time. So I came into the cohort with the idea, but I observed people without any ideas. And I observed people who thought that they have good ideas and came into the cohort. But I'm sure you are having the hackathons just like we did. And at the end of a couple of hackathons, when they started, getting all this feedback from us, from the Antler people, they realized that, okay, they were blindly in love with their project and they might need to pivot. So I saw this with maybe 20 to 25 projects that simply pivoted from where they are to who they are right now, and it worked for them. Many of them got investments. So I think I didn't go through that, but if you are going through that transformation, I would say go for it. I mean, that's not a scientific way to approach this, but it's a more hunch that I as an entrepreneur, this is how I work. Translate to English, but if there is a little bit of suspicion somewhere about anything, drop it. So this is the way I act when I'm trying to make decisions, and many people I saw made the same decision. So if you have a suspicion, like if it's really eating you inside, you will feel so good by just dropping it. Just drop it and try to either transform your idea, get a lot of feedbacks. I mean, just look at this one. This is 70 smart people, right? And the collective knowledge, the collective wisdom is just utilize the shit out of it. I'm sorry, but just use this. I mean, so many smart guys in one room. So if you have any questions, just go and ask everybody, hey guys, what do you think? Collect feedback, collect feedback. The 4 projects that failed that I mentioned, these were the projects that I did blindly without even getting any feedback from any customers, because I thought I'm like Steve Jobs, and if I make it, people will start using it. It doesn't work that way. Not everybody is as lucky. So next time I did projects, I actually sent out a lot of surveys to my potential customers saying that if I made this, would you use this? What do you need? This. And for that business that is doing well right now, I reached 55,000 customers in 15 months and generated $3 million. So, and this is the only business that I really got feedback from my customers. So when transforming your business, I would say just get feedback from 70 smart people here, and I think you'll do just fine. But don't be afraid to transform. I saw many people doing it, and they got the investment, and now they are going for it. So just change it. Don't be suspicious, just drop it. The heart, I guess, always works. Well, for me it does, but the logic sometimes, but the heart always. Yeah. So yeah, this is okay, right? I mean, yeah.
Regarding that feedback loop you were talking about, how many times did you go back and forth to build a new team within the Antler program?
I don't know if that will be a good advice, but once you find just let me rephrase. I saw people finding co-founders, but in the name of being nice, they simply couldn't confront each other for at least 2-3 hackathons and couldn't break up. And I don't think you have enough time to be so nice here. We only have 2 months. So if you feel like you find the right guy, and I always believe, this is just my observation, I saw tech guys pairing up with tech guys, didn't work for them. I saw business guys pairing up with business guys, didn't work for them. But that is my experience from Singapore core. So make sure you find someone who really complements you, who completes you, if that's the right word. So if you are tech, find a business guy. If you are business, find a tech guy, and be very fast, because now I don't have any business guys left. So just be fast, and if you feel like you found the right guy, I'll again say go for it. Again, I don't have a very scientific approach to this, but I'm a very emotional guy. I guess that's a problem sometimes, but I go with my hunch and with my heart. So if I click with the person, I think that's some kind of Middle Eastern, Turkish thing also. Like we just click, we feel like, okay, that's the guy, I feel the love. And if the affair is there, we just go for it and then fail later. But just find your guy and click with them, but make sure they complete you. If you are a techie, find a business guy. If possible, find a business guy who failed a lot of times. That would be awesome.
Or woman.
Or a woman, excuse. Yeah, so businessman, businesswoman, find someone who will complete you. And just an advice, again, that's an observation, not very related to this, but in our cohort, I saw many people that came from, I have an entrepreneurial background, but I saw many people coming from the corporate background. So these were people who were so used to very well-defined job descriptions, very well-defined ways of doing things. They expected the same thing here. And what I try to tell them is, you're an entrepreneur now, so F your job description. There is no job description here. You simply need to renew yourself. You cannot act like the corporate guy you were in BMW or in some other company. You have to relax, you have to chill, you have to forget all your corporate well-defined mindset and just be open to everything. I think that's a better way of finding also co-founders, because if people who kept corporate attitude and corporate approach to every single thing, where they calculate everything perfectly, they ended up failing. And I saw this many times with many people, because they acted in such a perfectionist way. This guy, no, blue eye, curly hair, like, because of stupid reasons. You get my point, right? And because they were expecting such a perfect match with everything, they eventually failed. And when the cohort finished, they were like, okay, there is no one to pay with because I was an asshole. Like, this is what you might go through.
Or
Excuse my language,
flexible
please.
enough.
Yeah?
Or wasn't flexible enough. Right?
Yes, or wasn't flexible enough because I was simply waiting for the perfect. So I think if you find the right click, if the heart feels right, just go with it. But act quick because I saw how desperate people got, when there were like 2 weeks left. Like you could see on their faces like, man, I need to find someone. Like I cannot be picky anymore. I just need to. So if you find the right person, just connect with them and just start on your project. I would say start as fast as we can. But that's one man's advice. It worked for us. It may not work for you. Okay. Yep.
So how many times did you switch yourself?
One time.
Okay.
I found my love and I just it was love at first sight. I think what I like about my co-founder is he's simply I think humility is something that is very important for him. He's very observant and the ethics he has, he's very humble, and I like the things that he teaches me. Like, Bahadir, be observant, be very observant, and this is what he gives me every single day. There's a coffee shop here. There's a girl working there. I don't know if any of you know her name, but her name is Jasmine. Before meeting this guy, I would not even bother to ask her name. But now I just say, because he told me that, dude, everybody around you, just be observant and just be humble to everyone. And the first thing I see someone working in a coffee shop, that is what he gave me. Now I ask her name. I say, hey, what's your name? Jasmine. Jasmine, thank you so much. And the smile on her face is simply priceless because everybody just keeps expecting coffee from her, nothing else. And my co-founder teaches me, dude, you cannot just expect the whole world to work for you. Just be more observant, ask her name, and say a freaking thank you for the coffee. And this is what I like about my co-founder. He guides me in such good ways. We just click very quickly. So if you find someone like this that makes you a better person, that sounds cheesy, but go for it. Yeah. All right.
So regarding your co-founder, I'm just going to shout him before I
Yes, shall we?
When you found each other, you had an idea about the tasks you would be doing. Did that shift along the way?
No, I mean, I had the idea and he believed in the idea. There were actually many others that wanted to be a part of the team. So we kind of observed for a week that, again, very cliche words, but everybody is using them. That's the best way to define them. So we had the hustler, we had the hacker, but we really needed a hipster who will do the cool creative marketing, because I'm a big introvert, so I will do my stage thing, and then once this is over, I will just go to a corner and just try to avoid, humans. So I'm a big introvert. So we needed someone who would be more like, more creative, more connected to people. We observed, but we couldn't find. We couldn't find someone that we could match. But with my co-founder, it was a match. And again, he loved the idea. He said, okay, dude, let's work on this. And we started since that. I had a telecom background, so he knew that I could pull that off, the telecom side. All we needed was the platform itself to deliver the eSIMs. So my business and telecom experience matched his software development experience. And eventually we hired the hipster. Now we have an hipster on team. So yeah, this is how we do it. But we clicked and we started working on the idea from day one. Again, not everybody is that lucky. I know that you guys go through a lot of hackathons, a lot of idea development, which is normal. I've seen people like there were like 2 weeks or 1 week left till the end program will finish. People came up with the idea, they matched, they paid in the last week, and they got the investment. So this is a case that I saw. It's happening. You can match with the right person in the last week, find the idea in the last week, as long as you show a little bit of traction. That's what Antler is asking you. Our traction was, we just ran a Facebook ad. We spent around $300 and asked people on Facebook, we are creating the world's first eSIM store. Would you sign up to be the first user? And in 3 days, we got 9,000 signups. And 9,000 signups was enough for us to show Antler that these are people with eSIM phones who are waiting for a platform like this. So just make sure, even if you have 2 days till the investment day, just make sure you have some kind of attraction. It can be a sign up, it can be one-time sale, it can be a letter of intent, anything that shows that, okay, people are going to use this product. That's all. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you manage your finances, your burn, your raising rounds?
Okay, so again, we are very at the beginning of this. We raised 60K from Antler, and another investor came in. We raised another 80K. Then we had other investors who wanted to come in, but Antler's advice was kind of stop taking money because your valuation is right now $1 million. So people will buy into the $1 million and we will be diluted. So we stopped taking money till the demo day, till we actually show some traction. So when it comes to finances, I think you have to be very, very realistic, and Antler is expecting you to be there. So when they ask you, what is your runway? That's an entrepreneur mistake I would make 10 years ago. Just to make my investors happy, I would say 2 years. I have 2 years to go. I can spend the 60K for the next 2 years, but never do that. I did that when I was 20 years old. So if 60K is good for 3 months, just tell them it's good for 3 months. Never ever be humble about the investment because it's just gonna come and bite you in the ass. So just be very, very clear about your finances. And this is what we are doing right now. I think we are spending around 15K to 20K per month. So we have something like 5 to 6 months to go. But our demo day is next month. So we are hoping to raise around 1 million to 1.5 million next month. But from day one, we were very, very, very realistic with that. One other advice, again, what I would make, as a first-time entrepreneur, many of you will raise money for the first time. I did raise money from other investors before. And one mistake that you might tend to make is just go very unrealistic with the numbers, even with your own salary. Like, you are the first one who needs to survive in the company. So don't go crazy by paying yourself 300 euros or something like this. Be very realistic. And again, when you are taking money for the first time, you might always feel like, I have to be very careful. I shouldn't piss those guys off, but don't worry, just piss them off. Eventually, it's you running the company, and you will see that it comes to a point where they will simply have to respect all your choices. Like, okay, if this guy is going to do this, what can we say? Like, he's the one running the show, so we have to respect him. So this is not an Antler case, but in general, an investor case. Just be yourself and be very comfortable with your money. Don't feel like this is an investor's money and I have to be very, very careful. If you need to, I'm spending $15,000 right now. We are attending an event here, a telecom event. It's a 3-day event. We are sponsoring it. All the telecom companies will be there. And it was $15,000 to sponsor the event. I didn't think 1 second. I knew that I had to be there because there is no other way I would find 500 telcos packed in one room so that I can tell about this project. Before, 3 years ago, I had an investment from a traditional investor. He would be so pissed if I spent $15,000 on an event in Amsterdam, but I don't care anymore. Then I used to be like, did I do something wrong? But now I feel like, no, that's my business. I make the decision. So whether you like it or not, I'm going to Amsterdam. So yeah, that will be my advice. Be very generous with the money. Don't make mediocre spendings over. Like, don't try to stretch it. Like, making mediocre spendings, which mean nothing in the end of the day, is the biggest mistake you can do with your money. So make very to the point, very valuable, very, very solid spendings. If that means to spend 20K at one time, 30K at another time, but do not try to go like 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 and stretch the money over years so that you make investors feel like, oh, this guy is very careful with our money. That is just a stupid way to spend the money. So make sure you target like right points, even that means you have to spend a lot of money, because eventually that's what we do. Yeah.
In early stage, it's difficult for yourself. For example, if I have an idea, I believe in it, but finding right persons to join, not just co-founder, but the third person after the co-founder. How do you struggle with that? How do you explain somebody that this is the big vision and you are being part of this big vision, and it's like selling the story to him where he is more coming to, okay, I'm on a job, not a co-founder here.
I mean, that's a very normal process, right? So right now, just to give you an example, not like a co-founder, but when we hire people, we have the employee stock option. So I approached around 25 to 30 people on LinkedIn saying that we are going to pay you this much salary, plus you are going to have 1% equity in the company. Because we believe this is going to be $1 billion company, I hope so. And try to sell the vision, right? And I think I got rejected. And these are like digital marketers, hipsters, who were in companies like TBWA, who just has it comfortable in their places. And I couldn't sell the vision to 25 to 30 people. They would say, I'm very happy where I am, I'm very comfortable. And then this person came out and I think she was making 160,000 per year, which is okay in my book. And she said, okay, I'm gonna give that away and join because I believe I'm a traveler myself. And she showed me her wallet. She has 18 SIM cards in her bag. For every country that she goes, she's keeping 18 SIM cards. And when she hears this, so I don't need 18 SIM cards anymore. I just have one store to keep me connected. She said I'm in, and then she quit her job, and now she's inside the business. So I think it's simply a process. There's no scientific way, or there's no quick way to solve this. It's just, if you are lucky, the people who don't believe in this will really ignore and reject this so quickly that you can get to the right person who is going to get into this vision with you. I'm just happy that those 25 people did not drag along so long that the person I'm talking about, her name is Kate. And I'm just happy that I made Kate so fast because these guys rejected me so fast. If they were like, let me think, I will be able to meet the person that believes in this. So if somebody ignores you or rejects it, just go to the next person. I mean, even the best guys, even the smartest guys, I don't think there's a way to just sit down and sell your idea so quickly, right? So just be patient. That will be the best solution. Tell everybody, and if somebody believes, just do it with them. And that's the person that you want to work with anyways. Just to give an example, there was some other person who you wanted to give an equity. She came in, and the interview was like it wasn't we were hiring her, it was like she was hiring us. Like the way she approached the whole thing, like the demands that she had was just so overwhelming. She did not even understand that this is a startup and we can be more humble with our expectations. She expected everything that she has from a corporate company plus equity in our company, right? So you will meet people like this. You just know when to run away because that's a toxic place to stay. And then you find a person who simply feels okay, right? Okay, this is the person. I can click. We can go with the heart. I will do that. That's it.
So more like a co-founder who was not part of the cohort, but somewhere else in the world you accidentally matched up.
That is possible. I mean, just reach out to anyone. LinkedIn is an amazing place for this, right? I reach out to everybody there, and that is going to believe in your project. Yeah. So I believe this happens regularly, every day to many people. You just need to find the right person. The right person might be in Dubai or in Turkey, somewhere else. If you find them, just go for it. Doesn't even have to be here with you. But just keep trying. Again, I'm giving those advices, but I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to give you what I went through. So I'm not gonna claim that I'm giving you the most perfect answers. This is just my story.
Could you share maybe more about traction that you had to be shown in front of the IC and now in front of the demo day? So how does it compare? What extent of traction? We talked here a lot about traction, getting some unit economics before the IC and before the demo day and for investors, but I would like to know more about the extent of it.
Okay. I not show the 9,000 signups that I showed for the IC. So in this month, we have to make some sales. Like for the demo day, we have to make sure we sell eSIMs. So the platform needs to be ready. For the traction that we had before, my advice would be, because my traction was higher than anyone in the cohort, people would get like 200 signups on their website, 300, and when mine was 9,000 signups, everybody just asked me what we did to get this. I don't know if that's the right way, but what we did different from anyone else. I saw everybody just made a landing page on their website and then advertised that landing page on either Instagram or Facebook and try to get people from Facebook to the landing page, then have people sign up there. I didn't want people these two steps, like see us on Facebook and then go to our landing page. Facebook has this amazing feature where actually inside Facebook you can create lead campaigns where you can collect signups. And even from my perspective, that's an easy way for me to sign up for any other product. Like if it's just in front of me, if I can sign up just that. So a simple advice would be use the Facebook lead, I think it's called lead campaigns or something like this when you choose the advertising model. And make sure you have a nice visual that really tells what you are doing, very to the point. And I'm pretty sure you are going to get the highest signups that you can using that method. It worked for us. We got 9,000 signups from Facebook. So this is how we got the traction. But until demo day, I'm also scared. Like, we are gonna see next week. We are gonna launch and we are gonna advertise and we are gonna just sit and wait for people to come and give us $10
Are you
each.
asking for money or like to users to pay or?
Yes, this time it's. I mean, this traction. I don't know other people's cases, but in our case, it's a very structured. It's very straightforward. We put the eSIMs, we put the top-ups. People come, buy the eSIMs, and top up their SIM card. So we cannot sell any other traction idea. We cannot give any other traction idea in the demo day because it's such a straightforward thing. Did you put the eSIMs? Yes. Did people buy them? No. Goodbye. Did people buy them? Yes. Okay, then come in. We cannot tell another story in the demo day, in means of traction. Our only traction that we can show is that this is our Stripe account and 1,000 people came in and purchased eSIMs. That is the traction that I need to show in 1 month. So I'm a little bit afraid. Yeah. All right. Yes, sir.
I'm curious about the early traction concept as proof of who's going to be in the space, because it seems to me that the premise is that this is going to be the way that most people are going to purchase percent. Yes, it's a technology that's here, and so it's really a scramble for some sort of network effect or just a land grab. And if that's true, then it's really about who can set up the biggest store, the fastest store, and have the biggest budget for promotion. If that's the case, is 1 million way too small for what you're asking?
1 million?
1 million or 2 million, is that too small?
That's a good point. I wish somebody gave me 100 million bucks. Nobody will do that, at least from my experience. I don't think I will be able to raise more than this. But if you ask me, are we going to raise faster? Yes. So after the 1 million, if all goes well, as planned, and again, from my current business, that I know that even my previous business is a physical SIM card business. So I have a global SIM card for travelers. And I reached 55,000 customers in a very short time. And I know that it's working even with the logistical challenge of sending people physical SIM cards. So I have a hunch that this is gonna get big very fast. So you are very right. Once we raise the 1 million and prove that this is working, we are gonna have to raise something even faster because eventually we need to collect eSIMs from telcos. So I go to KPN and I buy their eSIMs. I go to Vodafone, I buy their eSIMs. So we are gonna need a lot of money eventually, you are right. But I don't think anybody will give us more than one. Because I don't know if you are familiar with the demo days, if you watched any of them. So the Singapore demo days, the average fundraising on the demo day was something between 750K to 1 million. So these are the numbers that we can speak of in the demo day. But I really hope after the demo day, somebody comes and says, guys, we need another 5 million. Sure, I will just take it. Yeah. But I agree with you totally. It's all about, having more money. But the good part is, this is not a kind of business like, I will give an Uber example. Like, we don't have to burn forever until we are never profitable and still go do the IPO, right? So this is the kind of business that you can actually see your markups very clearly and your operating expenses are very clear. Eventually, it's a digital store. So I know from my current business that we are going to be profitable very quickly. So this will give us the confidence to raise more money. Maybe even not raise that much, if we are profitable at the right time.
but not to belabor it, but that's what concerns me is that I don't see profitability being an important thing for you. It seems like it's not about traction right now. It's about a unit economic of if I can spend $1 and then sell the sim for $1.50, I need 20 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, I get your point. I get your point, but I've never done that, so
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I did 500K. I did 1 million. I never played that game either, so I don't have the answer. I think I'm also learning. Like
I'm just assuming T-Mobile and everyone is going to be doing it, so that's why.
actually, they are. Everybody that we talk to, they are on board. We just got like a big. I cannot say the name, but we got a very big company on board right now. So yes, they all want to be on board. So you're right. We will need a lot of money, but again, I'm also learning. I don't have the answers. I'm also learning, experimenting, and yeah, I'm just adapting. Making mistakes and yeah. But you are very right. You need money. Yes, please.
I'm curious, at capacity, I'd see now how much in your kind of daily routine did you gain on the Antler advisors and the support from Antler after the exit?
It's more than I expected. Again, it's just a matter of asking them. Just ask them and they will work. I don't know if that's the right word, but they will work for you 24 hours. They don't stop. They don't go like. Again, I think the key here is being humble and being kind. These are very universal. Because again, every time I saw people acting self-entitled, even in our cohort, I was like, I wouldn't help you. Like I wouldn't. You are such an annoying guy. I wouldn't help you. So why would I mean? Antler still does. Antler is just kind enough to help them. But I was like, why do you even bother this guy? This guy is just so. You get my point. But as long as you are humble and you know that Antler is also a startup, again, they might have their flaws, but as long as you are just open and humble and kind, you can believe that they will help you 24 hours. Like the guys here, Yuri, again, I cannot show Yuri, but the way he has been, I don't even know the guy, I haven't seen him, and I haven't seen him now. But the way he's helping me since I came to Singapore is just priceless. Like this guy never stopped introducing me to companies in Amsterdam. And I'm like, why the hell is he doing that? Like he doesn't even know me. I'm from Singapore cohort, he's from Amsterdam, and he's working day and night to make good introductions to me so I can utilize Amsterdam. Just ask them, because if you don't ask them, they won't know. Again, Andreas Burning is the key name here. You met the guy, right? I think I'm in love with the guy, so I keep telling his name. But he's an amazing guy to know. He's just go to him. Tell him exactly what you need, and I promise you he's going to introduce you to the right person, right connection, right there on the table. He's not even going to waste your time. If he doesn't know, he'll just say no. But he's not going to break it. So Andreas Burning, learn the name, write it somewhere, and any questions you might have, just go for it. He's an amazing guy to know. We wouldn't be able to afford the guy if he was our consultant or advisor, on a fee basis. So we are simply very lucky to have people like those on the Antler. Yes, please. All right. Yeah.
I kind of like I'm so.
Okay, I can go this way.
I'm a bit curious because you look one co-founder mission from Core, right?
Yes.
There were also, I assume, groups three, right? How did you?
I couldn't hear the last one.
Yeah. So when you pitched for the investments, you were in the team of 2, but I assume there were also teams of 3 people. How did
3 people. The problem is I cannot really hear. Maybe this time.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And for the street, maybe repeat.
Maybe repeating the question will be.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm really curious about, because you had one co-founder basically. There were also teams pitching teams of 3, right? How did you notice big
Teams of 3?
Yeah, 3 people.
We are not 3 people.
No, I know you are not. I know you have one.
There are here. You mean there are teams of 3?
Well,
Okay.
my question is basically, if you look at in your experience from the Antler cohort, were there big differences between the teams of 3 in terms of like what happened afterwards and teams of 2? Because the dynamics are very different in teams of 3.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good question, by the way, because I personally don't like where there are too many people. because I mean, even in college, which I never finished, we will do teamworks, and I will hate to, like, if I had an idea that I really believed was good, it just felt so annoying to run the idea by 3 people and make sure everybody likes it, everybody is on board. And at some point they have ideas which you hate and you reject 3 of them, but just to be nice, you have to accept the 4th one so that the person doesn't feel excluded. So I think it's very tricky to be very crowded. What I observed in the cohort was, I think there are people with 3, there are teams with 3 people and they got invested. It's all about making the definitions very clear, everybody's roles very clear. So in our team, I'm the guy who presents. I'm the guy who goes to events. I'm the guy who if there's a speaking session for a telco, I'm that guy. And our software developer knows that he's the guy who has to make sure we have a perfect product that is working. So we never step on each other's roles. But what I see, and we are both, I would say, little bit alpha characters, and coming from, again, that you might not relate to this, but coming from a Turkish background, this is kind of how you protect yourself, like you always have to be a little bit tough. So when you have 2 types of guys like this, you really need to make sure you set the roles right, otherwise it will always be a challenge, right? So this will be my advice. From day one, we sat down and we said, this is what you are good at and this is what I'm good at. So let's never feel like we are being excluded when I do this and you are not there, or when you do this and I'm not there. Let's define each other's roles. So if you can do that from day one, I think you'll just be fine. But if you cannot do that, if there is something difficult for me also sometimes, if you are very afraid to confront your teammate from day one and make those distinctions, then it's going to hurt you along the way. Right? So just make sure you sit down as adults and you speak everything very clearly. Dude, I make the marketing decisions. So even if it's an ugly Facebook post, even if it's something that doesn't make sense, I'm doing it. I'm not going to run it by you every single time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm going to do a new one next. But do not come all the time and tell me what to do this, because I'm not going to tell you how to do your PHP or how to do your C++ or whatever. And I can't anyway. So, but the point is, everybody needs to know their roles. Otherwise, it's my co-founder looks at my Facebook, verbs, and he says, he goes, I feel his pain, like he goes, and he says, it's good, man, it's just good. This may not seem like it's the good way to go. I mean, you might think that there should always be a brainstorm, but in a startup, if you keep doing that all the time, you will act so slowly that it's just going to be boring and it's not going to be flexible and you are not going to act fast. So even if it's ugly, go ahead. To answer your question, sit down, make sure the roles are very defined so that nobody steps on each other's toes. All right. And if there are many alpha characters in the team, make sure you do this as soon as possible, because the alpha fight is just an ugly fight. Right? Yeah.
It looks like you're undercutting the big players by helping customers reduce Airalo charges, etc. So what's your pitch to the big telcos that could do this themselves?
Well, first of all, so when we go to telcos, this is what we tell them. Guys, you have your paid SIM cards, and you are already selling your prepaid SIM cards to inbound travelers, to tourists coming to your country. And you are doing this through 7-Elevens, Mama Papa stores, retail outlets. You have a distribution channel to deliver. So this question is like asking them, why don't you open your own 7-Elevens? Or why don't you open your, this and that? So what we are, and by the way, they sell their eSIMs on their websites too. We cannot stop that. What we are doing is, we are creating a universe, because from a traveler's perspective, it's a mess. You don't know where is the Vodafone eSIM, where is the Orange eSIM, I'm going to India, where is the Jio eSIM? So what we are doing is something, not define them, we are actually helping telcos. We are telling them that you have a distribution channel for your eSIMs. So we want to be your digital 7-Eleven, nothing more than that. We are not defining you. I want to buy your eSIMs and sell them. That is all. We are not defining them. What we are defining is the roaming. So basically, if you have right now in my phone, I have 4 eSIMs. So even for Netherlands, I have the eSIM for Netherlands. So it's a 7 gigabyte, 7 days, which is more than enough for me. So this means I did not have to activate a stupid roaming plan from my local telco, which will be something like 500 megabytes for $20. This one is $10 for 7 gigabytes. So the point is, this is going to disrupt roaming, definitely, but it's not going to hurt their prepaid mobile business because they want to sell those SIM cards to tourists anyway. I'm just making sure the tourist gets it even before they go to the country, even before they are home. Yeah, that's Netherlands. I can use one in UK and go like this. Yes, please.
I'm in the process of signing up actually on your product. Could you tell me what in a few minutes what physically happens now? So I sign up. What happens then?
You are signing up for our announcement.
No, I'm signing up for a plan actually.
Oh no, that's a big problem.
Sorry.
No.
It's not live yet.
Sorry.
No, but I just want to understand how it works. What happens if you sign up? So
you are not doing it right now.
If you
I thought you found our developer panel or something like that. So basically what happens is you go to the app or the website. You don't need the app.
Yeah.
You choose, there are two tabs. One of them says local eSIMs and one of them says global eSIMs. We have 4 global eSIMs. A global eSIM is basically an eSIM that connects you all around the world with little higher prices. But it's convenient for people who change countries every single day or in every 2 days. But there are people like digital nomads or backpackers or people who will have more time in the local destination. So they go for the local eSIMs with more data packages. So you choose your country. Let's say you are going to Singapore.
Yep.
You go to Singapore. You will see the options, the eSIMs that we have for Singapore. Then you buy it. Very simple, very straightforward. And then we send the QR code. So an eSIM is a QR code basically. Right. But first you have to have an eSIM compatible phone. And there is XS, XS Max, XR, and Google Pixel 3. Right now, there are 50 million devices. By the end of this year, it will be 200 million anyway. So we send you the QR code, and then it's up to you to activate the QR code right away, or you can wait till you go somewhere else, or you can share it with a friend via WhatsApp.
So
simple as that.
There's no physical interchange, it's only the QR code?
Nothing. You get the QR code, and then you say install, and it's installed on your phone. Very simple. I actually love it. I mean, not because it's my product, but because this is something also very new for us. So me and my co-founder, we were in Singapore before we left, and we were sitting at home and we had our Netherlands Dutch eSIM, the local ones. So we simply activated our QR codes and we landed here and we started connecting to KPN. In the plane, it was amazing. It was a good feeling. Like we are now using the actual local eSIM that the actual local people are using. We are not paying more than $10 for 7 gigabytes, which is an amazing price. And we are connected from the very minute that we landed. I like it, and not because it's my product. It's just so convenient. So, yeah. Thank you. Yes, please.
Simple question. Why would I choose AirSIMs over Google Project Fi?
Because Google Fi is a global eSIM, and we have the Google Fi. We have 4 products that are like Google Fi. Google Fi is 1 gigabyte for $10. So please go ahead and use it if you are, if you are okay with 1 gigabyte $10. But if you want 7 gigabyte for $10, you come to AirSIMs and buy a local eSIM. And we have a global eSIM like Google Fi. It's called Plan 1 on our platform. It's a global eSIM. It covers every country that Google Fi does. And where Google Fi is 1 gigabyte $10, ours is 1 gigabyte $9. So we just made sure people are going to ask about Google Fi. So we made the price $1 cheaper. Yes, please.
Do you feel, since starting the Antler program, that you made any mistakes on the way and maybe share some learnings from that?
No, I'm perfect. No, I mean, one of the things, this is not a regret, not an exact regret, but one of the things I'm really curious is, but again, it's a trade-off. So I cannot really say it's a big regret, but could I get to know more people in the cohort or more, because so many smart people who are now not part of any company, because in our cohort, 42 projects formed and 15 or 16 of them got the investment. But I know that these are guys from Google, from McKinsey, from companies that I have never seen, I have never even worked with, you know. So I'm always kind of thinking, did we miss a very smart guy or a smart woman that could actually be a part of this company and maybe make us move even faster? So I'm not saying it's a mistake, but it's just kind of like you get my point, right? It's just a curiosity that I will always wonder, like, is there an amazing person that we missed because we did not mingle enough? Because once I was with my co-founder, I was like, okay, let's go. Like, we don't need them. Let's just do our thing, right? But maybe we could mingle more and meet an amazing person that we could. So it is something that I wish I could do more. But other than that, again, I try to utilize the best of the Antler program. Like, I've done presentations many times in many events, but when it was Andreas Bernig teaching us about presentations, I reset myself and I just made sure that I know nothing about presenting. I know nothing. And I did so many slide decks, so many pitch decks in my life for investors. I know the whole routine, like the team, the solution, why now? Like, it's in my mind like for the last 10 years, right? But when it was time for Antler to teach us that, I reset myself. I said, Bahadir, you don't know anything right now, learn from zero. So make sure you absorb everything that Andreas tells you. So when you act like this, I don't think you get many regrets. The main point here is always be learning, even if you are the smartest guy in the room, and it makes the program much easier and more fun. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm giving the best answers here, so improvising with you. So please forgive me if it's not making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It might be interesting from your perspective. Did you see some teams, I think that your co-founder was like, from a similar background? Did you see some teams that formed and then came from a different background and had a little bit of trouble with that, maybe adjusted, and you had to suggest that?
I mean, there are teams. I saw teams that one founder was from Jamaica, the other founder was from India, and now they have a company in Philippines. So this is happening. This is definitely happening. Well, their market is Philippines, and it's just too common. There's a team where one is from Singapore, one is from Belgium. There's a team where one is from, I guess, Sweden, and one is from Singapore. So this happened a lot of times. And okay, there's a team. One is from Serbia. Yeah, I think it's Serbia, and one is from United States, and they formed their company in Dubai. So it's definitely happening. Many people from different nationalities just forming up there and then going to their target markets. It's happening all the time. So I think it's going to happen here too. And that's also one advice that I can give you. Don't be afraid to build your company wherever you need to build it. Like, I don't know if there's a right advice here, but in Singapore, we don't need to set up in Singapore if our market is United States or Philippines or Indonesia. There are many teams that came out of our cohort and now their companies are in Indonesia because their market is Indonesia. We are actually planning to have a studio. So yeah. Does that answer the question?
What was it? Did you see any challenges that came out of that or some things that it might be better for people to just have in mind?
Well, I wasn't, in there, so I don't really know their personal challenges. But I think the output that I saw is they're just working really fine right now. The teams are definitely working because I think it's the cohorts of Antler. It's just too smart people to even bother with things like nationalities or discrimination or stereotypes about another nation. Just a bunch of smart people who just see humans, no colors, nothing. So it's very easy I believe very easy for all of you guys and for us in Singapore just to mingle, connect, and at some point you don't even remember that this person is from another country. I don't think it gave us any problems, and I see people working just fine. Right? Yes, please.
Yeah. Super simple, like very basic platform, very basic idea, but can disrupt. So what do you think about other ideas that made it and that did not make it through ICT or the initial investment committee? And what keeps them away from investment committee? Because Antler can invest almost in everybody, but the idea is good.
Okay. I think I think there might be a couple of answers for that. So one of the is the founder's chemistry. Antler can smell bullshit very easily. So if you are just forming up just to form up, just in the name of forming up so that you can get the money, they will sense this from a kilometer away. So that is one thing, the founder's chemistry. Like, okay, is this the guy that I can get married and live at least for the next 5 years? Because this is what's going to happen, right? You know, we are going to live with this person for the next 5 years. And imagine you don't like him or her. Like that's just impossible, right? So Antler wants to see the founder's chemistry. In these 2 months, you don't even see it, but they observe it. They observe how you guys work together. They observe, you know, what you guys are doing. So that is one answer. Another thing that Antler wants to see is they will ask you the question of defensibility. Like, is this a concept that you can defend? Don't try to go. My advice, again, just one person's advice, don't try to go, nobody can do that. Just say everybody can do that. Like anybody who wants to do that can do that. So, but this is what we are going to do. I personally believe in a world where there are 5 alternatives to everything, customer support is king. But this is my view of business. I love customer support. I love customer happiness. You know, just making sure I talk to them one by one. This is my game. This is what I like to do. When they ask you about defensibility, just be very honest, saying that, yes, I'm doing this, but someone else can copy it. But sure, if somebody copies it, we'll either buy them or they either buy us. So this can happen, right? So don't be afraid to say that this, don't be saying that this is something that only I can do. They won't believe that. And I guess traction, again, during the investment committee is very important. Some kind of a traction which makes sense, right? Not something like, you know, my mother says that she's going to use it when I finish it, or you know, my father loves the idea kind of thing, but some kind of a traction that really makes sense. And my traction was 9,000 signups, but we had tractions where people had 200 signups, but still got invested. So founders chemistry, traction, being very honest about the defensibility aspect of everything, and I think you'll be just fine. Yeah, because I'm just thinking, not every company that got invested has the claim that they are going to go global. And we have that claim. We are saying that we are going to launch in Singapore, and people from Venezuela is going to use it the next day, because this is possible on our case. But there are companies that say, we are going to disrupt the market in Dubai. We are going to disrupt the market in Indonesia. And that's still okay. You don't need to sell a global theme or something like that. You can just say, I'm going to make the best carpooling service of South Africa, and I'm just going to be in South Africa. And if they buy the idea, why not? You don't need to sell a very global idea. Just don't force yourself to do that. I hope that answers the question. I'm doing this for the first time. So. Yes, please.
Hi, did you find in the previous Antler cohort, like B2B ideas inside of the cohort? So like one group said we're going to do this, and then you can kind of get a partnership with another group that sets up a company and do that successfully.
You mean like a synergy between two cohorts?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't witnessed it personally, but one of the things that we are going to do is in our cohort there is a travel app. So they are going to guide the tourists for what to do in their next destinations. So they want to integrate our API into their app, so they can also sell the eSIMs that we have through their platform. So we are going to have a synergy between this. And then there is another company from the previous cohort. They are like an Airbnb for Singapore. They provide homes, and they want to make sure when travelers, tourists come and stay in their places, they want to give our eSIMs to those visitors, to those travelers. So it's definitely possible. If it makes sense, we are going to do this for two companies, one from our cohort, one from the previous cohort. So is it happening? Yes. In our case, yes. But did I see any other examples? Not that I know of right now. But maybe I didn't see, I didn't tell. Maybe something is happening, I have no idea. Right?
Okay.
Okay?
Well, actually, before we close off, guess what? Yari's in the room, Bahadir.
Okay, Yari.
So I want to just welcome Yari up to say a few words, because you were singing his praises while he was on our global call.
I said so many good things about you. You were here, so.
Good story.
You want me to talk or?
Yeah, just a little bit about how you guys came together.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then generally how you've been helping.
So it's not the first time, and I actually don't remember where it came from now, but there are mechanisms internally in Antler that ends up connecting portfolio companies to other Antler locations. So we have some channels like asking for contacts and so on, and then once in a while there's a request like, hey, this, in your case, it was something around, hey, Bahadir of AirSims is going to come to the Netherlands, there's a conference going on. Does anybody know anybody that they should meet? And then, I had a few telco connections here, so we got in touch and, I asked some of our advisors, I asked some people that I know directly from corporates, from my past life at McKinsey. And, at least one meeting came out yesterday at the conference, which hopefully was meaningful. I've done similar introductions without having met the person, also for companies that we have in the Philippines, in Sweden, and so on. I like this a lot, of course, because it shows the power of the platform. It also kind of, makes me feel good about kind of, giving something to other cohorts that hopefully can help them further. We definitely need to structure that more, right, as we start having kind of hundreds of companies in the portfolio. But I think it's a nice proof point that it's already happening now, and the fact that you're here today is really awesome. I think it helps to share a lot of the wisdom with the new starters. So more of that to come, and definitely also if at some point you guys are kind of getting quite specific on your business and you're wondering kind of who else in all of the cohorts is out there, then we will of course try to facilitate that networking and then figuring out who is in there. So this is actually the first time for me to really physically meet somebody from another cohort that I've kind of talked over by month, so I'm really happy about it.
I just want to emphasize the introductions are just so much, it's overwhelming at some point. Like it's just so many people that these guys introduce, you just need to follow up with all of them. It's amazing. It's really something that you really want in your lives. Like so many guys that will take you months to even get an appointment from, you can talk to them in a couple of days, and it's happening on a daily basis. Not only here, in Singapore, wherever we go, it's happening. Andreas Bernie. All
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. All right. So now we're actually having a little bit of a break, but I'll give it over to June to talk a little bit about